Oh snap, I did not realize Anthony had joined us. Hello.
That's my stuff, dude. I've been in here for a while.
I was AFK, bro. I was making a drink. It's pink Moscato tonight, gentlemen.
Ooh,
We're
feeling feeling a little light and fruity.
Oh yes.
I think you just needed a good counter to the very dark, fucked up place we're currently in with our naked paladin.
Shh, don't bring that up.
So yeah, speaking of that dark and fucked up place, it's been a while. So let's knock out this recap real quick. Excuse me. So, last session began in a local tavern in the village of Bloatboat, within the Shadowfell. The party, recovering from a night of revelry with the pirate group who run the town known as the Bastards, as they come to, and the town comes to, well, to life, Blade has an interesting encounter with Virgil, the barkeep, and then the party kind of heads outside. Amongst the quickly moving villagers, the party notices the magical radiant lanterns they have been using to safely traverse the realm extinguish, presenting some problems. After some information gathering and a bit more bothering / terrorizing Virgil, the party finds themselves heading to a nearby mine used by the Bastards, in search of one called the Wizard, one who could potentially help them. After they locate the wizard and enter his hut to initiate some dialogue, the party finds out much. That the little old man wizard is actually a Kenku and a follower of Nerul. He did agree to help the party if they would also help him by playing a game. Winner was awarded his old tea cauldron. A game was then played. 6 cards were drawn from the deck of many things, changing Renwick's alignment and setting a powerful demon from the 9 hells to yearn for his destruction and torment, while also destroying all of the magic items on Gladier's person and giving him a permanent boost to one of his ability scores. The wizard's draws were generally good boons as well, and despite that, he was trapped in a beam of light and sucked through the floor. A bright flash of light blinds the party, and as they begin to become aware of their surroundings, that is where we are now. So, as I had kind of described before, as you guys begin to look around, you are kind of in the no man's land as far as the mist is concerned. Before you is a massive tower, towering 1,000 feet tall, made of black stone. And it, like some of the places you have already visited in the Shadowfell, like Raptor and Bloatboat, it seems to also repel the mist to an extent, and you guys are kind of right in the no man's land of that repelling. Like the mist seems to be struggling to form in and around where you guys are. So, with that, you guys are kind of dazed and confused, freshly teleported, recovering from this massively bright flash of light. Everybody, go ahead and let's start this off with some perception checks.
Are you going to make us roll perception to see the naked paladin, or is that separate?
Yeah, depending on how high you roll, depends on how much cleavage you can potentially sneak a peek at.
Just making sure.
I want to see this underdark.
I have underclothes. I'm not naked.
You know, you claim that, but canonically, I'm pretty sure the party's in favor of naked Gladier.
Wait, you said you didn't have a tail.
Yes,
That's
I
his
don't
front
have.
tail.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's a 17 for Renwick.
14 for Gladier.
14 for Blade.
Okay, so Blade, Gladier, Renwick. One thing you notice immediately as you're kind of gauging your surroundings is um, not only does the tower seem to be repelling the mist, but the closer the forest trees seem to get to the tower, the smaller they become. So, what on the road were these towering black gnarled trees are actually like small shrubs at this point, for just based on how far you guys are away from the tower. Aside from that, Locris, you guys spot up ahead a good distance. I mean, this tower is about 1,000 feet high, but it has a very triangular type of entrance. There doesn't look to be like a door. It's almost, the architecture kind of looks like an entrance of something you would find in like a teepee. It's just kind of like an angled natural entrance. No door or anything like that. But what you see up ahead of you, kind of near this entrance, there appears to be a natural stone archway. And the inside of this natural stone archway, it's probably 15 feet tall at the center. It looks to be like a glowing green, rippling portal, something similar you would see in like Rick and Morty or something. And aside from that, just outside this portal, this portal seems to be cattywampus to this door, just off to the side. You notice what appears to be a bunch of mind flayers having some sort of interaction with a bunch of what you can presume to be vampires, and it looks like they are trading. The mind flayers seem to be handing over dozens and dozens of docile elves. They're not bound, they're not in cages, they just have like a odd milky look in their eyes as they follow commands. But it looks like they are trading elves for magical trinkets and herbs and various arcane ingredients that are native to the Shadowfell that are probably difficult to get on the material plane. And it's kind of, it looks like there's some sort of trade going down, only, probably 500-600 yards ahead of you. You guys are pretty concealed by the mist at this point in time, but also one thing that everybody notices, the cauldron teleported with you.
Oh, okay. A couple things. We should probably figure out what the hell this cauldron does before we go forward. And two, Blade, maybe we should disguise our ears or something. It seems that elves are picked out more than others here, since we hold I forgot what was said, but I know that we're sought after down here, so perhaps we should disguise ourselves or something.
I agree. I do have a disguise kit, but yeah, probably a good idea.
That definitely seems like the right idea. I as a boy, I was pretty good at disguises, and I think I could help you. And he just like starts rifling through his shit with like no real ability to do anything.
Although, I mean, to be fair, I think it might be hard to get by a lot of these folk here. I mean, we don't really blend in as a party with mind flayers and vampires.
Especially with the naked dragonborn.
Yeah,
Glady, are you just going to be hanging dong going forward, or do you need clothes?
So just to clarify, Glader has was wearing just a light I don't know, cloth shirt underneath his armor because he's not gonna wear full plate armor just on his bare scales. And maybe leather pants or something. So he's not naked, but
You their pants.
I don't know, I don't not leather pants that you would see in modern day, but leather.
He's wearing a G-string with assless chaps.
I knew it.
And a shirt that's just long enough to cover it, unless he bends over.
With a crop top.
Yeah, I could bring the 80s male crop top back.
All of a sudden,
Honestly,
he's got a handlebar
solid.
mustache.
With the hog that is canonically established, solid look for you.
I knew there was a bad boy underneath that holy armor.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see a thong or G-string under all that?
Yeah, can I get an assist?
For sure. What do you call that? Like a dong check or?
Is Gladier trying to hide it?
At this point,
Oh.
he's a little. He's dealing with some emotions right now, so he's not really doing much of anything.
I mean, with the sheer size, it's got to be disadvantage.
I mean, Logos with the 41. I mean, there's
That's not a 41.
A dazed and sad kind of looking off in the distance, giving the 1,000-yard stare of Gladier. But there is definitely a bulge in that leather breeches that he's got on.
Very nice. Logan says to himself.
But yeah, he's kind of yeah, I guess you would see him start to rifle through his things, and I guess um I'm assuming because the scabbards for all of his weapons were not magical, just the weapons themselves. He's just kind of frantically feeling because I mean he had 3 swords, um, so he just kind of is frantically feeling around and realizes that all of his weapons are gone. His armor is gone. Uh, his father, especially his father's um, Topesh that was handed down to him, uh, has also disappeared. So he kind of just sinks down to his knees on the ground and is just kind of, I don't know, I guess in a state of shock. Um, Trying to process the loss of um, just the loss of everything. Because pretty much all he had left. Oh, and his sister's heart potion. Yeah, that's gone too because that was a magical potion. Yeah, so literally everything he had of his left of his family is just disappeared in a second. Um, so he's a little shell shocked at the moment, not really answering anyone, just kind of sitting there on the ground.
Hey, Locust, do you think you could put up your hole and we can get out of sight until we get Gladier dressed and more prepared?
Yeah, I'm sure between the lot of us, we could probably at least give him a decent start back. And Renwick's going to take the magical trident that he has out of the bag that he no longer uses and give it to Gladier and just be like, it served me well, and hopefully it'll get you by in the meantime.
He just kind of grunts and nods and holds it. Just, he takes it from you, but doesn't do much. as far as acknowledging anything more than that yet. Yeah, if Logus whips out his whole, Clater will always happily crawl inside that thing.
I'm pretty down right now, but I think I have something that could help you. Not just hand him a good berry, so at least he'll have a full belly.
He'll take it if you feed it to him.
Oh, I'll do more than that. Dude. I'll flick it into your mouth while you're yawning or something. And then I'll throw up the whole.
Okay, yeah, and within only a few moments, a few arcane words are uttered, and the hole is created for your guys' needs. So as you guys enter the hole, what's the plan from here? And it's been a while since I've known the parameters of the hole. Can you hit me with the language of the hole there, Logos?
Basically, it's just an interdimensional space that exists outside of where we are. It lasts for an hour. I can pull the rope up, and we can see out, but nobody can see in. And basically, a little, I think, 10 foot by 10 foot hole space that we can be in.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah,
no, it's 3 foot by 5 foot, so it's kind of crowded. But it's okay.
it's definitely cramped, but a safe place for the time being. So, how do you guys proceed from here?
So Logus will get in there and kind of like just wait for Renwick, since Renwick said he could disguise him. And so Renwick, I'm yours for whatever. Just hide my ears, make me look a little more blending in.
I will absolutely do my best. And I don't think I have anything that's going to apply here aside from just assorted junk, but I'm pretty sure historically I've used mud and a variety of other environmental things around me to try to disguise people. So I'm just going to lean into that again.
Okay,
Still
yeah.
got that bullywug suit.
What do you want me to roll, Sean?
You could probably
Would you
go with a
accept?
sleight of hand, or
I'll take that. I was gonna argue maybe survival, just because I have to use what's around me.
I mean, yeah, I could see a survival roll being using like natural foliage and stuff. That makes sense. You could do that either.
Yeah, we'll roll with that. That is a 12.
So. You know, it's the weird thing about Shadowfell is that it doesn't have mud proper. It's a very charcoaly, sooty, ashy earth.
Locust is going to take off the mithril half plate and hand over to Gladiator. This was technically yours, and I still have my chain shirt, so at least it'll offer you some protection. So that was a 15 plus dex to your AC.
I think he'll kind of like come to around that point. Just to look up at Locust, or wait, are you sure I still have my father's old plate mail or half plate? So like, I don't want to put you in more danger.
It's just barely better than what I have. Like 1 AC point.
And Mithril doesn't impose disadvantage?
No,
I
because
think
it's soft.
Yeah, I
Or
think
it's
when you're
light.
sneaking around.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, if you're sure, I appreciate it. Thank you. And he's gonna gingerly take it from his hands and get to putting that on over his regular clothes that he has on. He's not naked.
And little Chris is going to turn and look at Logus and just be like, "What the hell is this?"
Logan's just kind of standing there, like, what do we think? Looks good, or
You look like a 10-year-old going out trick or treating.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Locris is going to go fix it up.
You know what?
Yeah,
Let me
give me a
just make
sleight
it
of hand.
easier.
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you allow me deception since I'm trying to make him look deceiving?
Yeah, that makes sense. You could definitely use subterfuge to try to hide some of his features or change them.
27 in that case.
A much better job on applying some of the soot and ash to, making the tips of the ears kind of blend with the hair, so it looks a bit more like a man than an elf.
Logus, not quite sure how they're doing. Is just gonna cast disguise self.
What do you disguise self into?
Uh, just a human, I guess. Or mm, can I make myself look? Can I make myself look a little undead with disguise self?
I think you've got like a foot to work with. You could be a foot shorter or taller than you currently are.
Can I make myself look a little more like vampiric with my ears and stuff, and uh, kind of try to blend in with the vampires?
Oh, for sure. You've definitely encountered enough undead that if you want to take on some features of a vamp, it's all too easy.
And I'll kind of like try to do it subtly, so it looks like Locris made me look like this.
Okay, for sure.
So you just turn around and like Locris just got done like working on him, and Locris turns around, he's just completely different.
Perfect.
So, any other preparations to be made or gear to be swapped around?
Couple things. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
So Blade's going to a couple things. Blade is first of all, he's going to walk up to as maybe Gladier's getting all gussied up and kind of re-armored and whatnot. Blade's going to approach him and have two cloaks and kind of approach Gladier and just say, I don't know if either one of these could be of use to you, but I've got a cloak here that was my father's. It's it seems to be of elven kind. It helps with stealth. It's proved to be very handy for me in the earlier stages of our adventure. But I've also got another cloak here that's very helpful against those that are stabby that might have more piercing strikes against you. If you're interested in that as well, I don't know if either of these can help, but they're free for you to use or have.
Idea. Maybe we can work out a three-way trade. Do you still have a shield?
Yeah, we discussed that the shield I made from the boulette was technically not like had magical-ish sort of, but it was not technically a magical shield. So I still have that.
Because I do have, and he'll hold out this animate shield. It gives you +2 to armor class, and you can use an action word to have it float around you and free your hands. If that sounds better.
Hmm. So like it's an action to make it.
Yeah, so you can hold the shield and then you say an action word and it animates and blocks for you and frees your hands.
Yeah, that's not because especially with versatile, you use the trident with two hands. Well, yeah, I mean, I could probably make use of that, especially with this trident. Renwick, Sloan, and me. I think I can have that shield float around me and hold on to two hands with this trident and get a lot more oomph into that strike, for lack of a better word.
Well, Blade, if give him the shield, you give me one of those cloaks.
I mean, if it's advantageous to the group, then I'm all for it.
All right. I'll unattune because I forget that I even have this, and I'll unattune to the animated shield and hand it over to Gladier. You do have to attune to it, so I'd get on that.
Yeah, I guess we have an hour. Yeah, no, the whole lasts an hour. So if I just start right away, I can attune to that.
Bladen, whatever cloak you want to give me, maybe the elven one, since I'm always up and trying to stealth around.
Yeah, absolutely. If it'll help you, but be careful with it because it is my father's.
Oh, if it means something to you, I don't want to take it. It's up to you.
No. I'm not using it, and you tend to blend into the shadows much well or better than myself. So please take it, and if you die, I'll pick it off your body.
Oh, that's ominous, but I understand. Well, what's the cloak called? So I can add it.
It's a cloak of elvenkind.
All right.
Actually, I do have a question for your DM, Sean.
What's up?
So the Trident of the Wave and the animated shield, they both have to be attuned. I'm assuming I can't attune them at the same time, so I would need 2 hours.
I'll say at this point you're pretty experienced with the coming across the magic item here or there. You're a pretty accomplished warrior. I'd say you could probably do you can attune an item in 30 minutes.
Okay. Oh yeah, so then I would I'll attune to both the Trident of the Wave and the animated shield.
Excellent.
Oh, it's a bonus.
As Gladier kind of attunes some weapons, what's everybody else doing?
I think Blade's going to kind of follow course, kind of like Logos did. I got a disguise kit, and I kind of want to try to make myself look vampiric as well, a little bit, to kind of try to match Logos.
Okay, go ahead. You could do a sleight of hand, a performance, a survival. You tell me.
Oh, performance all the way.
I figured.
Lucas will help him to give him the assist action by just criticizing every time he doesn't do a straight cut or something.
Perfect.
All right, so with advantage on that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. 29.
And you as well, applying the soot and ashy earth and a certain blend, and you make yourself for a more than passable undead as you look very vampiric.
Maybe I can put like a couple of rocks under my lips to look like something.
Yeah, whatever works.
Okay.
I assume Renwick would also try to disguise himself. I'm gonna try to disguise myself as a gray, though. I feel like it's a little twisted, but I look a lot like my dad, and I've seen what he looks like and acts like, so I think I could probably just try to play it off.
Okay, yeah, you can give me a survival check or something to use the nature and surroundings to try to pull off this gray.
That is another 12.
I mean, passable from a distance, probably.
He'll take a length of rope out of his bag and tie it to himself with like a really intricate knot. And then he'll hand the other end of it to Blade and just be like, if anybody asks, I'm yours. And he's just going to try to sell the gray thing as if he's like a vampire's thrall.
Oh, this will be perfect. What shall your name be?
Well, I suppose I'm your pet in this case, so whatever you'd like to name me. And then he kind of bats his eyelashes a little bit.
Doofy.
And I am your Doofy from here forth. And he nods.
Perfect. And then I kind of yank on the rope a little bit.
Stop it. I don't like that.
You dirty Boy Scout. You're mine now.
New kink unlocked.
This awakes something in Renwick for sure.
His tentacle hand quivers slightly.
Your tentacle hand just stiffens for the first time.
Sean, you gotta reel us in, man.
I was enjoying the show. One thing I'll say, since Logus has been usually he posts up, he's the lookout and whatnot, and you can see out the hole but not in it. Logos, you see from out the hole, it looks like the pot, the cauldron that was left behind. It jumps not once, not twice, but 3 times and positions itself directly under the hole.
Okay. In case this matters, attacks or spells cannot go through the hole from both ends.
Okay, makes sense.
So, and Logus would kind of speak up. Don't want to alarm anyone, but that creepy cauldron that we got is bouncing on its own and kind of positioning itself underneath us.
Oh, I mean, shit. Glade's gonna walk over there and look out the hole and try and can I make some sort of, I guess maybe like an Arcana check to see if I can, because he didn't tell us. He was very vague about this cauldron. We just know it's something magical and creates good tea or whatever. So can I make some kind of check to see if I can tell what it's trying to do? Because it was technically gifted to me.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
All right. Oh shit! Look at that. When did I get a +4 to Arcana? What the fuck? Why am I not making more Arcana checks? That's a dirty 20.
As you kind of look at this cauldron from a distance, it would seem like, for whatever reason, perhaps it is drawn to you. While it did not make an attempt to enter the hole, it, for whatever reason, felt compelled enough to follow you a short distance.
Follow Gladier specifically?
It would seem that way to Gladier, at least, yes.
Is it making a lot of noise? Like, is it loud as fuck? Like clanging around?
Not really. The earth is kind of moist and ashen. It's not very hard.
Okay.
Hey, Gladier, go get your damn pot before it alerts people.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it does kind of look like it's following me. And he'll just kind of, I guess, stick his head down out of the hole, make sure nobody's, within eye line, and then just drop down and pick up the cauldron, and I guess climb back up. How much longer do we have on? Well, I mean, if we're all attuned at this point, your hole's probably running out.
Yeah, the hole is lasting on its last few minutes.
All right, yeah, Glader will just stay down there then. He'll get his cauldron and maybe try and take a closer look at it, inspect it more as more of like
I don't want to be that
this is
guy,
an
but
attunement item, but like in a like that sense of inspection, like try and like get to know it and try and figure out what its use is. If I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation or religion check.
hey, Sean, if he dropped out the hole, that hole's about 60 feet in the air. If he didn't climb down the rope.
I would have climbed down the rope if I saw that we were 60 feet up.
I don't know. He didn't specify.
So Gladiator cannonballs to the earth. You take no, just kidding.
I am kind of
Well,
blind.
he knows that dragons can fly, so maybe he thinks he's a flying dragonborn.
There you go. He's without his armor weighing him down. He feels a little more limber.
You said investigation or what was the other one?
Religion.
Religion? Okay. The least religious paladin is going to do investigation. Oh, that's not good. That's only a 6. 2 on the die.
So with a 6, I mean this cauldron is about the size of I don't know, a large bowl, if you will. It's got like a little metal hoop around the top, and around this cauldron, it bears like relief scenes of heroes on these like cast iron sides. You know, it's just got a bunch of different heroes on it.
Interesting. Well, I'm not really a alchemist. Not really smart in that sort of way. Um, yeah, I don't, do we have any do we have any of that tea left? Did you guys feel anything when he made tea in the spot? Wait, I do have an herbal tea bag for some reason. Oh, it was sleepy time tea. We bought it off that hag. I have 3
That
things
is
of
a
sleepy
deep
time
cut.
tea. I have three portions of sleepy time tea. But I don't think we need that now. Yeah.
I think I have like the druidic components. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have like herbs and stuff. If you want to throw it in there.
Well, I still have the tea from that dude because we stole a whole bunch of bricks and I threw them in my bag.
Fuck it, we'll throw some
True.
tea in there. Throw some herbs. I can create some flowers and shit. We'll see what happens.
I mean, we do have to figure out a game plan. We might as well brew some tea while we're doing it.
Yeah, I can. Sean, would you allow me to like forage a little bit, see if there's like some edible or safe to eat like plants and mushrooms and stuff?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival check as you kind of look around.
All right,
So,
I've rised up.
so with a 10, all you manage to find is these black gnarled bushes, these like small stunted trees, the forest that you kind of been traveling through. It's not great findings, but you do recall that one of the main ingredients of the terrible tea that the wizard brewed you was tree bark from this particular tree.
All right, well, this would come back with some black dead tree bark. There you go, Gladiator. Throw that sucker in the tea. It builds character.
All right. And nobody. I mean, I guess Glader wouldn't know this because he didn't drink the tea at all. But uh, Alec is asking, did anyone feel anything after the tea? Like after they drank the tea, whoever drank it, did anyone drink it, or did everyone
Yeah,
pretend to drink it?
I can't remember if I drank it or not.
Locust drank it. It just tasted like gas, I think.
Yeah. So like no side effects. Well, I guess
Not that I've been told yet.
Glader would just, try and take what Locris and Logus provided him. And, I guess he's not experienced in making tea, but he's gonna just go with the flow and try and make some tea as we sit down and discuss the game plan for this tower. So I guess he'd be spending that the whole time just working on that.
Okay, so as you kind of go about making some tea, two things. Go ahead and give me a perception check. And how do you go about making fire?
Oh, that's a good question.
I can produce flame. I'll as a cantrip. I'll give you some fire.
Can you breathe fire?
Okay, perfect.
I can, but that's a 15-foot cone of fire, so that
You
might be a
can't
little
That'll
control
be
it.
efficient. That's efficient.
I mean, that's up to DM discretion if he would let me control it into a small burst.
If you want to burn your ability for a lesser ability, I will absolutely allow that.
But yeah, I think I'd rather just let Logus do the cantrip. Or is it? Maybe we'll grab some sticks. Like we don't need a big fire. It's not a huge pot, so just grab some sticks and do control flame and perception check.
Aided with a bit of magic, it doesn't take too long to get a little fire going, and the pot set upon it. I think we already established that one or two of you can create water, so I think we're good there.
Yeah, and I think I have a water skin too. If needed, I would just pour some from my water skin.
About half a water skin would probably fill the cauldron. It's not very big.
Yeah. But then my perception check was a 14.
With a 14, you just kind of catch the tail end of the portal that had kind of been pointed out earlier. This green rippling portal disappears. And it looks like there are no longer any mind flayers, nor vampires, nor dazed elves in and around the entrance to the tower. It is eerily quiet, and there is little to no movement.
And so, like, as he's stirring this pot, because Glader has no idea how to make tea, so he's just stirring the shit in there.
give me a survival check to make some tea.
It's a 14 on the die for a 15.
Luckily for you, you kind of paid attention to how the wizard had done it only a few moments before, and you managed to mimic it, and it is equally terrible tasting tea.
Yeah, so like as he's like stirring, um, and finishing up, he points out, yeah, so I think whatever deal they had going on, their trade or whatever, looks like the portal's disappeared, and so I think there might be whoever was out is back in the tower or disappeared or gone to wherever they came from. So I don't know if that's good news for us or bad news. And like as he's saying this, he's like grabbing like I'm assuming they have some sort of like camping gear like tin cup type deal. So he's like filling up these little cups and like passing out some tea to the party.
Can I make a survival check or something on this tea to make sure I don't die from drinking it?
Yeah, go ahead and give a survival check.
Holy shit! Natural 20.
This tea tastes terrible and does have a particular stench to it, but as far as you can tell, it is caffeinated, So that's kind of good, but for the most part, it's just really terrible tea.
Doesn't give us a buff or anything like +5 to friendship or something.
But maybe, potentially, get jacked enough on caffeine, like advantage on fuckery checks. I don't know.
Oh, hell yeah, give me the whole cauldron. So Logus will kind of like drink the tea and kind of try to keep a poker face so he doesn't hurt Gladier's feeling, and just it's not bad. It's some good tea, Gladier.
Yeah, it tastes like shit. Alright, so what's the plan? We know Amorphous is up there, right? Or
We
safe guess?
think he is. I honestly don't even know if we'd be able to sneak in. Probably just walk right in. Maybe he wants to say hello.
At that point, you guys notice like a flock of what appear to be ravens and bats just kind of rapidly leave this large archway of this large tower, this large natural entryway. And there, for a moment, there's a small swarm of bats and various avian creatures, and then they all seem to depart in various directions. And then once again, everything is calm, everything is quiet. There seems to be no movement or nothing on the breeze, no sounds. It's eerily quiet.
Did they depart from the top of the tower, or did they come through that main entrance?
They came out of the main entrance, swarmed around the tower, circled it a couple of times, and then they just kind of exploded outward in every direction. Birds, bats, crows, ravens. They just there didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. There's just hundreds of directions, hundreds of these flying critters, and they all take off.
Sean, would we at this point know, because I know that we know a fair amount about vampires based on experience, but would we know about whether or not they could like scry through animals or anything like that?
Go ahead and give me like a history check.
18.
As you kind of get a good look at some of these creatures flying by, it would appear to you that these look awful similar to the transmuted vampires you had encountered before, rather than like the familiars that were their servants. You're pretty confident that the swarm of flying creatures was in fact a probably a couple thousand vampires sent off to do God knows what, God knows where.
Renwick would turn to the party and just be like, I hate to be the Boy Scout, but just based on experience and the things that I've been through, I've assessed that a lot of the things that just left that entryway were most likely vampires. So the good news is they're not inside anymore. So we should probably hurry.
Quiet, servant, and I'll pull my rope to like pull him back, just to like try to like keep like if anyone's watching, looking like he's actually my slave.
Okay, yeah. Give me a performance check.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution save to see how I take this, and it's pretty mid, so I think he kind of likes it.
So you like jizz a little? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no,
I mean,
that wasn't good.
I'm lawful good. I like a stern disciplinarian.
I mean, he sells it. He even cracks the rope in such a way where it strikes your back. You're sure it's going to leave a welt, but well played.
Something to remember you by.
Sean,
Anyway.
before we go forward, I'm gonna give the cloak of Elvenkind back to Blade because I forgot that I already have a cloak, and I can't be attuned to two cloaks. Just look silly.
Okay, yeah. Is that rules as written? No dual cloaking it.
That's what Gladier said. Plus, it
I'm pretty sure
visual
you can.
visually it looked kind of stupid. I mean, if you think about it.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I will, as always, defer to Chris because he is our resident rules aficionado. But I'm pretty sure you can't have, like, you can't hold, like, I don't know. I feel like you
Yeah.
can't.
I would be surprised if they let you stack cloaks. Otherwise, you'd have the cloak of piercing, cloak of bashing, cloak of slashing, all at the same time to make you a fucking barbarian, basically.
Yeah.
Here, Blade. I actually have a cloak already. Plus, I feel bad taking this if it was your father's. I appreciate it though. I'll just hand him back the cloak.
Any time, and then I'll check it over for like stains and shit.
If
I,
you
I may
stained
I may have
terribly.
wiped some boogies off with it or something.
Is that sturge juice?
He's had it for 10 minutes and it's like a toddler wrapped onto a napkin.
There's juice. There's random juices and fruit stains and some questionable sticky substances. Don't worry about it.
Gosh, it's like glued in half. It's weird.
That was from when I was in getting the tree bark. The sap was sticky.
All right.
All right, so is our plan to just walk up to the front door and say hello?
Follow Doofy, and I'll pull the rope, and I'll start walking towards the portal.
Hey, what?
Renwick will blissfully follow.
Logus would
What?
kind of walk side by side with Blade since they're both kind of vampiric looking, so they can kind of blend in like we came together with our gray submissive pet, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Forward and a little bit back.
As you guys kind of venture towards this tower, like I said, it has like an kind of an odd natural opening. Here, let me make like a doodle real quick. It's got this odd natural opening, but as far as you could tell, the closer you get to the tower, the mist goes from waist high to knee high to ankle high to eventually there is no mist. So as you guys approach, you get to the grand entrance of this tower. The door is probably 200 feet tall at its point, and you appear inside. What you see is that it is completely hollow. There is a very thin staircase that looks to spiral all the way up. But also, this same staircase from where you are looking in also seems to spiral downward several stories. And this giant hollow concrete tube, essentially. And yeah, a spiral staircase goes both upward and downward. So as you guys kind of look in from this entryway, tell me how you proceed from here. This staircase, mind you, is very thin and will require you guys to go in a single file line should you decide to go up or down.
Based upon the visions I'd had of Jurassic, do I get an idea it was like external towards the top, or did it seem underground, or could I absolutely not tell one way or the other?
This close to Jurassic, you can feel him, and he is down. You know where he is. It's almost like he's a ping on your natural compass. You can feel and hear his heartbeat somehow, and it's faint, and it sounds weak, and it sounds like it's getting fainter and weaker. But you can feel where he is. You know he's a couple thousand feet down.
Okay, so I plan on going downstairs. So unless you guys plan on committing suicide by going up, maybe Amorphous is up top and down is the dungeon, but Jurassic's downstairs and could be a more useful ally.
Then let us go away. And I'll kick Doofy to go that way. Gently.
Oh, wasn't Amorphous the one torturing Jurassic anyway? Or are we just, is that an assumption that we've made?
It's kind of an assumption, and it could be one of those I come down, have a little enjoyment with you, and then I go upstairs to take care of business. I don't think you'd be just chilling with them, maybe.
True, yeah. Well, I mean, downstairs is as good as any. Gladiator's gonna kind of I think he's kind of moved through his emotion of uh or not emotion, but his lack thereof emotion of kind of numbness, and is just kind of rash, moved into this kind of like rash, borderline angry kind of vibe about him. And so he's just gonna push forward, seeing that it's like a single person stairwell, like we can't go down, only go down single file. I think he's gonna go down first. He's gonna kind of push in front of everyone. And oh wait, but no, I'm blind as shit now. I don't have my fucking glasses anymore.
In that case, Gladiator, at this point, at this position, and at this time in Shadowville, you see exactly fuck all because it is pitch black dark. There is no light.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, he would go second then. He'd find someone, be like, all right, probably Locris, because he would probably assume Locris would be the one to go first after. So he would grab onto, like, walk up behind Locris, grab onto his shoulder, and just be like, all right, and like start pushing him forward. Like, let's do this thing. Let's go.
Could I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is not good. No, never mind. This is just bad.
Doesn't Renwick also have a pair of those glasses that he doesn't need anymore?
Well, since Gladiator bought his own pair originally, I actually sold mine off a while back, if I'm not mistaken. I combed through all my shit to see if I had anything I could give you, and unfortunately, I don't like to carry around too much. However, and I'm gonna hand you a scroll of Dimension Door, and just say I know you're always on the front lines, and we appreciate you for that. But if it comes down to you not dying, you're worth a hell of a lot more if you're alive. So use this to get yourself out of there.
He's just gonna kind of blindly reach around for it, and then grab it. Yeah, thanks. Guess I could use this at some point if needed.
Also, quick question for you, Gladiator. Did you or did you not take the cauldron with you?
Oh yeah, he would have taken it with him. Crap, I think actually he probably would have put it. Can it fit in the bag of holding?
Yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah, I think he probably would have put it in the bag of holding, just because he doesn't want to, like. Only other way to carry that would probably be like tie it on his hip and then be clanking against his armor. He's already loud as shit, so he probably would have. I think later would have put it in the bag of holding.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely would have left it up there. He would have taken it.
All right, just being thorough here.
Given that
Yeah.
we just had somebody lose all their magical items, whose bag of holding are you putting it in? Because Locris has one, and so do I. Just in case something happens, for the record.
Honestly, I forgot you had one for a second, so my first thought went to Locris. So he probably would have
Gotcha.
voted Locris's.
Noted.
Locris, can you hold on to this cauldron? Now let's fucking go. And grab his shoulder.
Right. So, go ahead and give me a marching order. How do you guys descend? In what order?
Well, apparently Locris up front and Gladia right behind him.
Yeah, he was pushing you.
I'm
Not
happy to take.
aggressively, but not nicely either. I guess.
I'm happy to take the rear, and he
He's
kind
in
of
the
pulls on
section.
the rope that Blade is tugging him along with.
The hell, you'll take the rear, and then I'll pull the rope back, and I'll put him in front of me.
Yes, sir.
Is Dimension Door, is that a second, third level spell? I can't remember. Trying to get the right scroll. I guess it doesn't matter.
It is
It's either third or
fourth
fourth.
level.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty high.
Okay. Okay.
So tell me if I got this right. We're going Locris, Gladier, Logos, Renwick, Blade. Is that the marching order?
Sounds right.
All right. So one more time. Locris, followed by Gladier, followed by Logos, followed by Renwick, followed by Blade. And any protesting to this?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Okay, so as you guys kind of descend, one thing you notice is you have thousands of feet to go in this large hollow tube. And one thing you notice is like every 50, 60 feet or so, there seems to be like an inlet carved in near this stairwell. And in this inlet, a statue of a humanoid man or woman. And each statue seems to be different, and as you look about, these little alcoves full of these little statues seem to be, spaced evenly apart all the way down this spiral staircase. And go ahead and give me a perception check. We'll say low, Chris, since you're up front. As you kind of see these guys and you're moving along, one's a human, one's a dwarf, another's a tiefling, another's a dragonborn, another's a halfling. A couple of them are men, a couple of them are women. There is some races you're not sure you're familiar with, all humanoid, various gnassies and tabaxis and whatnot. It's a veritable plethora of statues as you kind of descend.
Mind the art gallery.
So as you guys kind of descend this stairwell, after some time traveling downward, you do finally hit a platform that kind of brings you to the bottom. And as you round the final corner of this stairwell, here, let me drop a map into the feed. The first thing you notice is that you are set up high. You look out the room, and the right half of this room seems to just descend to lower floors. There is a walkway, and it is by a substantial amount of cells. These are like prison cell style, large rusty bars, concrete walls. And yeah, you guys come to this floor, and as you can see, I dropped a little map in the feed. So the pink line would be like the way to traverse this room to get down to the bottom. So it's kind of like a zigzaggy path that ties into stairs, and each level is full of cages, these iron wrought doors and stone walled prison cages, essentially. And so, as you come to the bottom and proceed along, go ahead and give me, we'll call it perception or investigation or even history checks, if you prefer.
Is that Locris or everyone?
That would be everyone.
Is there light in this area?
This is pitch black.
So I'm assuming this is all based off of vision, so it might be disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay.
A 24 for investigation.
Dirty 20 perception.
16 on the first die, 10 on the second, so 14 investigation. Not bad for disadvantage. I'll take that.
Locris, you would notice right away, as you kind of peer into the cells, not only are all these cells locked, but each cell seems to contain an elf, sometimes two. These are very easily identifiable as high elves from Brightwood, and they sit docilely in the center of the cell, cloudy-eyed and just kind of a smirk or a daze on their face. But all of the cells, at least on this first floor landing, seem to be completely full.
And Locris will keep walking.
Excellent. As you guys kind of maintain course and head down lower, more cells of these docile elves. But somewhere around the third floor, it sounds like maybe a couple of them have awoken as you walk by quietly and carefully. They notice you. They're confused. They rush to the gate and they hold their hands out. Please help me. I don't know where I am. What is this place? Where are we? What has happened? And once one person comes running, several more do, and suddenly there is a low murmur of cries throughout the room, echoing off the walls, begging for help. What do you guys do in this moment?
Locris gets an idea, and he reaches into his bag and realizes he has a Dungeoneer's pack. I pull out a torch, break off the handle, throw it in one of the lanterns, and light it. So then I could pass off the head of a torch and like a candle and give it to Gladier.
Okay, perfect. As you do so, several people reaching and calling out in the cages kind of flinch and wince and crawl back to the safety of their cage as they kind of look on, letting their eyes adjust to the light.
Oh man, now I gotta see this and address it. Gladier's still pretty. He's still pretty pissed. He's in a foul mood, but God. Can you see? Can you just look to see if he recognizes anyone? I'm just genuinely just curious.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh, I don't recognize shit. That's a 2 on the die. History, yeah, that's just a 2.
You kind of recognize the clothing of, some of the snobby elves of the surface, but aside from that, you really don't recognize anyone.
Yeah, I think he would just kind of shut him or try to just be like you all need to just keep it down. Like we got something we got to do. We're trying to help you, but we can't help you if you let the whole goddamn tower know that we're here. So just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. And he's just gonna keep following Locris.
Okay, give me a persuasion check there, Gladier.
Alrighty. Oh, that's good. That's 18 on the die plus 8, 26.
They nod and cover their mouths instinctively as if they have done something wrong, and they nod and back away from the cell doors and whisper, "Please, please hurry." And they do quiet down, and you guys kind of make your way past. So, as you guys kind of make your way past, you go down yet to another floor. This one, the fourth floor, nearing the bottom now. You see the fourth floor as you guys kind of make your way through. There seem to be a lot of undead locked up in this particular floor. Also, the bars, the doors, the latches and locks, everything seems to be much better quality than the old rusty iron gates and bars and things that you've seen prior. Inside are several ghouls, a couple of skeletons, some sort of deformed mutant-like humanoid, a man that looks to be completely covered in boils, several of them, you're not sure, ghoul, ghast, some other form of humanoid undead, but they definitely are giving off undead vibes. One of these prisoners, a ghoul, sees you passing and licks his lips and clings to the bars and says, "Ooh, mortals. Come on now, give us a taste. Just a finger, maybe two."
Lucas will flip him off. There's your finger.
Gladier's gonna thrust his trident in between the bars.
Give me an attack roll.
Oh, that's a natural 20
Very
For
nice. Give me some
for
damage.
a 30 with the trident. That's a 30.
And even 30?
Yeah. So I have the shield at this not animated, so that's just D6 plus 6. That's a 6 on the die plus 6. That's 12. God, I'm gonna roll all good right now, and then we're gonna get into a fucking fight, and I'm just gonna be straight garbage. So that's 12 damage, max damage.
So 18 total then.
Oh, yes, 18 total.
So with an 18, you thrust into the jail cell, pierce this ghoul, and he yelps, rips himself free, and falls backwards to the ground. "Oh, geez, man, I don't want any problems," as he kind of clambers around the back of his cell.
And Claire's gonna keep on walking.
So finally, you guys make it to the bottom of this long venture, and before you, you see two large pillars. These two pillars are some distance apart, but they are covered equally in glowing magical runes and symbols of all kinds. Not only that, but it seems through this glowing piece of, it looks like thread, but it is thick like rope. It's a glowing strand, seems to be just one single piece, but in the center of these two pillars, this strand seems to be firmly secured to a large diamond, roughly the size of one's head. inside this diamond, a bit of roiling black smoke can be seen. And Locris, you know without even a second's hesitation, that diamond contains whatever is left of your patron.
All right, so Jessic's in this diamond. I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at, though.
Blade, you have a little bit of arcane knowledge. Can you help me try and maybe figure this thing out? See if we can somehow try and release him?
Wait, who, me?
Yeah, you do some nice little magic there with your fingers and the chords and the women and the men and
Oh, well, yeah, I do tons of things with those fingers. Um, the Arcana I'm not as strong with, but I'm certainly happy to help.
uh, can can I take a look at it?
I can assist you.
What's your arcana there, Gladier?
I have a +4.
Locris would like to investigate these pillars to see if he can figure out the magical attachment going on and if there's any way to stop it.
Can I investigate the diamond itself? Or not a bit like Arcana magically investigate the diamond itself?
Okay, yeah. So, investigation check on the pillars, or did you want investigation or arcana? Either way, on the diamond.
Uh, I'll do Arcana on the diamond, and then I'm not whatever. I'm not sure what Locris wants to do. I'll let him speak for himself on that.
I was going to do arcana on the pillars to see if I could figure out like would it dispel magic, stop a connection or whatever, and I got a 22.
Oh, very nice. These pillars seem to be bolstering the magic of whatever this cord is. These pillars are covered in runes of protection, runes that kind of indicate some sort of restraint, runes that indicate some sort of power dampening. There's like a lot going on there, but the pillar does seem to be the power source for this glowing thread that binds this diamond. What'd you get, Gladier?
I got a 15 on the die, +4 for a 19 Arcana.
As you kind of get close, you look in and see this like diamond centered, kind of locked in place by this like magical thread, but inside of it looks to be like a ball of smoke. And as you kind of focus and you look into this ball of smoke, it is always shifting shapes, and it briefly turns into like it looks like a baby in the fetal position, and then goes back to just being like a random shaped blob of smoke.
Hmm.
Locris will cast dispel magic on the thing.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
$23.
As you focus and bend the magic to your will, you barely beat the DC, which was 22, but you do successfully stop these pillars. With a dispel magic, they seem to no longer be powering this thin twine. but it does seem to, though the pillars themselves stop glowing, the twine itself does not.
You got anything there, Gladiator?
Did I see any change in the diamond when he dispelled the pillars?
No change, just a bit of flickering smoke within.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing here. This diamond is somehow housing. I'm assuming your patron. It just seems like a swirl of smoke, and every now and then I see like a silhouette of, I don't know. To be honest, like, it looks like an infant. So I'm not. I mean, there's these cords that are attaching like from the pillars and the diamond. So I don't know. Maybe we got to get rid of these cords too, and maybe that'll stop the magic containing him inside the diamond.
Sounds good to me. And I'll cast Dispel Magic at 4th level on the cord.
Once again, give me another Arcana check.
Later's gonna take a few steps back from the diamond, just in case.
It would seem that with a 28, knowing what you were up against, you definitely upped the juice of your dispel magic, and you do successfully dispel the magic from this twine. The twine itself completely disappears, and the diamond clings loudly to the floor.
Locris will rush up to the diamond and try smashing it with his mace or Morningstar.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Dirty 20.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
$12. Or no, wait. Yeah, 12.
As you swing down and come into contact with this diamond, the second you touch it, even with your weapon, a flash in your mind. You see a bone, a throne of bone, high above, at the highest point in this tower. And as you strike this diamond, it does send a bunch of like spider hair cracks do kind of erupt all along the fissure. And as that happens, Locris, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh, I'm assuming I said I would take a few steps back, but if he's still within 10 feet of me, he gets a +3.
Yeah, we could say he is.
26.
All right. So you definitely pass. You only take half damage. Total, it was 90, halved to 45. You take 45 hit points worth of damage as you strike this crystal, and it takes the wind out of you. Your knees immediately buckle. You begin grasping for air. As you look at the hairline cracks you have caused in this diamond, you instinctually realize that your fate is very much tied to that of this diamond. Should you destroy it, it might destroy you.
Well, that sucked. And then I'll just take a healing potion while I contemplate. So, this diamond that's holding him seems to somehow be bound to my life. Oh yeah, and Amorphous probably knows we're here now, so
Yeah,
just so you guys know about time crunch.
maybe we should put that in the bag of holding for safekeeping. If it's tied to your life.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet. Let's protect that at all costs. In fact, does anybody happen to have like mending, or can we heal the crystal in any way just to make sure it doesn't shatter in like a really key moment or anything?
Well, as I take a healing potion, does it seem to heal up some of the cracks?
Unfortunately, the cracks remain.
Yeah, the only spells I have are targeted towards creatures, and I highly doubt, even though there's an entity inside the diamond, I doubt the diamond itself is considered a creature. So I think I'd just be burning a spell.
Well, I still have the chime of opening.
You gonna?
Do we think that would open it? And since it's not technically taking damage, or
I feel
you
like
guys
maybe. Oh, sorry.
just give me all your healing potions and I'll just attack this thing and see if we can.
I feel like if the diamond gets destroyed, you might be bye bye.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no man of magic necessarily. I'm pretty new to that side of things, but just based on some of the shit we've seen in the past, I'm fairly certain if that thing shatters, you die. We probably have to kill whatever it is forming that that prism that your friend is currently housed in.
Yeah.
Whoa, how dead do you think you'll be? Because I think we do have the means to bring you back. But if it's like a death, worse, like worse than you're dead, like your soul or something.
But what
Hell if I
if
know.
I mean, there's also the chance that it destroys his patron if we don't release it the right way. Maybe there's a right way to get his patron out, and there's a wrong way. Smashing it might be the wrong way and kill them both.
I am going to try and cast a little mending on the diamond.
You cast mending on the diamond. The cracks slowly heal, and Locris, you can go ahead and apply advantage to any of your next D20 rolls.
Oh shit!
With seeing Locris mend and seeing that it helps him, uh, Locris would have started casting mending too to try to get that diamond back to 100%.
Yeah, between the two of you, it should be easy enough. And as the diamond comes back to its more pure, pristine form, it's almost like Locris is glowing. Like he's looked healthier than he has in days. No bags under his eyes from the poor sleep he's been getting. He even looks maybe like he's put on a little bit of weight or something. Like he looks healthy, vibrantly so. Almost glowing.
Locris looks hella thick right now.
Glader's gonna also walk up to Locris and put his hand on his shoulder, and glowing golden light radiates from his holy symbol, and I'm gonna do 20 points of lay on hands. So you heal for 20 more points.
Locris will walk up and hand him a good berry, heal him 1 point.
21 points.
Perfect.
And not only do you look healthy, you feel healthy now. You're like full and you're not thirsty no more.
You look thick and you feel thick.
So how big is this diamond?
It's roughly the size of a human head. It's pretty big. It's a double fister. You know, it's pretty decent sized diamond.
You know, when I think human head sized diamond, I would have thought that that's pretty small considering what I'm picturing in my head.
You were thinking human size too, weren't you, there, Logus?
I was thinking like a full on like could fit one of us inside of it.
All right, so I don't know. Go upstairs and ask Morphus pretty please. Maybe open up all the cells on our way up and see what kind of chaos we can cause.
Maybe not the undead ones. Maybe leave
Yeah,
it.
I think that's a safe bet. You know, like we should probably have a thorough vetting process, and the ones that pass a certain series of tests will unleash them and hopefully set them free.
Stick your tentacle arm in and see if they bite.
Well, I suppose that's a very rudimentary way of doing it. I was thinking of a series of questions and observations, but yes, I do suppose in a pinch that could work.
All right, well, let's start heading back up then.
Did we get a full like did we look around this room pretty good? Like we're not missing anything, or can I take like a last perception check, make sure we're not missing anything here?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check as you kind of gaze around the room.
Oh yeah, dude, I could spot a peach cobbler from 3 miles away, baby. 31.
What you do notice is that as you kind of scan the walls on this fifth floor, this bottom tier of this dungeon, there seem to be a lot of, looks like wall manacles, and there are lots of remains hanging on the walls nearby. Some entire corpses, some just the arms dangling, some so decomposed they're skeletons, others look a little fresher but still look more like a decomposed corpse similar to a zombie. None of them move, none of them seem alive, but all of them look to be, with that kind of with a roll in the 30s. All of these people have, the look of heroes. You see, tattered belongings that were probably, once brave knights or powerful wizards of the past. You definitely get like a fallen heroes vibe from this particular section of the dungeon.
Does there seem to be any loot?
No loot, unfortunately, just the captured remains of former heroes from many, many generations.
How dare you take away the loot? Seems that we're not the first to come and try to take down this tower, or whoever was in it. Logers would kind of point out the bodies on the thing. Those were definitely heroes like us at one point. We should probably move with great caution if that wasn't obvious already.
Does the diamond fit in the bag of holding?
Yes, it does.
Then I'll put the diamond in the bag of holding and, all right, back upstairs.
As you break contact with the diamond, once again, a flash of an image in your mind. There is a throne of bone on the top floor of this tower.
I keep seeing this throne of bone, and it's unoccupied in my vision.
Yes, in your vision, it is up against like a black brick wall, and it is the only thing in the room.
Maybe like the manor, we need to put somebody there. Maybe if we throw the diamond there, it'll free him as he becomes the quote unquote Lord. Or I take over the Shadowfell.
Well, I doubt Amorphous will just let us become the new lords of Shadowfell, but well, we could always try.
Well, only one way to find out.
And we are breaking out people on the way up, right? Just to maybe cause confusion.
You guys
After
tell
a thorough
me.
vetting process, yes.
Yeah, so as you guys kind of make your way back up to these stairs, floor by floor in this giant dungeon, how do you guys kind of proceed? Who do you free? How? Why? Who's popping these locks?
I think Glader's going to push Renwick by all the undead people that were wanting to eat them on the way down.
Well, now hold on. If they're undead and in a cage, maybe they didn't want to be under Amorphous, or they were trying to rebel in their own way.
Yeah, but are they going to attack us when we open the door?
I don't
Well,
know. Did you
the
ask
real
them?
thing we have to consider here, boys, is why are they in the cages for the first place? I mean, perhaps the ones that are undead, unfortunately, can't control their impulses and therefore have lashed out at others, and that's why they're in the cages.
Well, considering I think Amorphous would feed off that, if he put them here, maybe they were against him and they're rebels. Or are you an alivist?
No, I'm just saying he didn't one of them want to try and like eat her fingers or some shit on the way down.
Oh my
What are
God,
you calling
Gladiator,
me?
are you in a Livus?
I don't even know what that means. I don't think you're
As
pronouncing the word. I don't think you're saying the word you think you're saying.
I'm in full vampire getup. Like, do I offend you right now? Like,
As you're in the fantasy version of blackface.
does this offend you, Gladiator? Are you, like Loker said in Alivus, do you hate dead people?
Yeah, do you hate dead people? And Blade will pop in as well.
Renwick's eye starts to twitch as he's not sure how to weigh in on this situation, because it is morally questionable by nature.
Quiet,
didn't I
Slade, and I'll pull the rope.
didn't I say that you didn't like that undead knight because you were racist against zombies or something like that? So I think you don't like dead people canonically.
Glitter has
That's why.
no.
That's why he
Nothing.
can detect undead. He watches for them.
Ain't no dead people on my lawn.
No, it's just dead people tend to eat and kill alive people, so that's not something I praise.
Well,
A
that's
lot of
just
people tend to kill people too, yet you don't hold the same hostility.
Yeah, but we kill people that are, we're not going to go into this deep moral debate right now. It's too much for. We're on a time crunch.
I
We
mean,
gotta.
Blazer, you've killed more people than the average zombie. I mean,
All right, to
who?
get back on track, let's just go free the high elves
God
and
damn it.
watch them get fed to the undead or something. I don't care.
let's just expel these stereotypes.
Are you guys free who you want to free? I'm gonna wait up on the entrance stairs.
Renwick, do you think you could pop a couple of the elf cages open, the ones who look lucid?
Yes, if you've considered them thoroughly vetted and you'd like me to open their cages, I believe that I am more than capable.
Are they
I'd
gonna
say
make
let's
it?
stick with the high elves.
Are they gonna make it back to civilization alive through miles and miles of mist
I don't think
that
that's the
drive
point. I think
people?
they're a distraction. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
you
only elves.
okay?
I
I'm
mean,
gonna.
they can take their chances or just stay locked up. I mean, what's the alternative here?
I mean, that's a fair point. They still die on their terms.
And they don't have to leave the cage. They can choose to stay. We're just providing options.
Locris makes a good point. What matters is that everybody has a choice.
Quiet slave.
He whimpers.
Yeah, I'd say just the elves who look lucid, none of the dazed and glazed ones that we saw at the very top.
Or just anyone in general, because I think there was more than just elves, right?
As far as you could tell, the only traffic that had made it in via Mind Flayer was high elves. All of the cages that contain mortals, they all seem to be high elves.
All right, we'll get to stepping, Renwick.
Logus has thieves' tools as well, so he would have helped Renwick pick some locks.
Okay, Renwick, give me a
Perhaps a collaboration.
yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll with proficiency and advantage on a thieves' tools check.
Renwick, you're talking funny. Are you okay?
I was about to say the same thing. He's
I'm
a little different.
feeling pretty great. I'm feeling oddly optimistic, and quite frankly, I feel like there's been this darkness quite kind of clouding my decisions lately, and I'm feeling pretty good. You know, like there's clear lines you can draw in the sand, and that makes everything make a little bit more sense sometimes.
You're just using a lot of proper grammar, and you're sounding really happy lately, and it's not gonna lie, it's freaking me out a little bit.
I think there's something in that tea, Gladiator. Did you give him some like herbal tea? Emphasis on herbal?
I mean, yes, it came from the earth. There was herbs, and I mean, you picked the ingredients. You tell me.
I
Was it
wasn't there when you made it. You could have added some special sauce to it.
Yeah, what'd you put in there, holy man?
Renwick, just as a reminder, you're lawful neutral. To be lawful good, you would have had to have been chaotic evil before the flip. So your morality is still in the gray area. You just think the rules should always be followed, regardless of if they're good laws or not.
I think that's kind of where we landed with this awkward pseudo BDSM.
Nothing awkward about it, baby. I'm enjoying it.
It wasn't awkward for me.
Oh boy! All right, you guys freed those captives yet?
Yeah. So, what was your roll there, Renwick?
You said with advantage and proficiency, correct?
Correct.
That's going to be a 22.
Just enough. As you manage to pop a block here, or then another there, and finally a third, maybe Logos even getting down on a couple of locks, you free this a small crowd of elves. There's roughly, I don't know, 10 individuals or so that thank you, but they kind of look at you skeptically, kind of hesitant. Are you sure we can leave? You traveling with the undead here? This isn't some kind of game. You're not gonna chase me down and eat me or something?
You got 10 minutes to run before I chase you down and eat you from inside out.
Give me an intimidation check.
It's just a 10. I got no modifiers for intimidation.
They quietly close their mouths and wide-eyed make haste up the floors and up to the spiral staircase, and they lead the way. They don't wait. All 10 of them seem to be climbing this staircase. They all kind of brush by Gladier.
After a while, Logus would kind of like start running up the stairs just to like loudly just to freak him out, think I'm chasing him.
One falls in fear. No, just kidding.
Falls to his death 1,000 feet.
Flashbacks of the donkey.
Ooh.
So, as you guys begin ascending this tower, once again, it's just this large concrete, brick-walled, hollow tube, and it from bottom to top, it is thousands of feet. And as you traverse this long spiral staircase, every once in a while, every so often, there's this little niche in the wall containing various statues of just what appears to be some random individuals. And as you make your way upward, are we using the same marching order as before?
If you want, I can take point just so I get perception on things, or I can be right behind you.
Sure, you take point.
I'm
We know
also
where Draystick is, and we know where we're going. So
I'm also dressed like a vampire, so
Glader will
yeah.
go right behind Logus.
Okay, yeah. As you guys kind of adjust on your way upwards, Logos, go ahead and give me a perception check as you ascend this tower.
I don't know why I keep rolling with the Bri. I mean, it's a 15, but
With a 15, you do notice that lots of these statues seem to be depicting different people. You know, there's half orcs, there's gnomes, there's a wide variety of Aarakocra and things like. There is just a plethora of different statues, and they're all depicting a wide variety of various races in the fantasy realm. As you guys ascend to the top of the tower, there is finally a break in this spiral staircase. A thin sheet of stone for a landing, almost similar to that of a balcony, and kind of in the center of this hollow tower. And two large wooden doors topped with skulls, massive skulls of giants, potentially. And these giant wrought iron ringed handles. The doors themselves are probably 20 feet tall, and they are closed to you currently.
do we knock, or do you want to open the doors, Gladier?
can I check if they're locked?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Can I make an insight if this is actually a door?
Yeah, if you want, go ahead. Give me an insight check.
That's a 21 insight.
You are pretty confident that it is in fact a door.
All right, guys, we're good to go. All right, let me do that investigation now. It's a natural one investigation.
The doors look very heavy, and without testing them proper, you're not sure if it's locked or not. But it does look like it's a substantially heavy door.
All right, Gladiator, you're up, big boy. Some heavy doors here. Just kind of tap him on the shoulder. Gladiator, go ahead, baby. This all you.
Sorry, I missed that. What was happening? Sorry.
Heavy doors. Roll to one. Let's see if they're locked. Natural one. So this is all you, baby. Knock these doors down.
Yeah, I'll try and kick him fucking down, I guess. He's got a little built up rage, so he's gonna try and just Sparta kick the doors open.
Okay, Gladiator, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Boy. Oh, that's not great. It's a 13.
Go ahead and follow that by a dexterity saving throw.
16.
So as you go to kick the door, as your foot comes into contact with this large 20-foot, like massive heavy door, you give it the boot and it flies open, but not inward, not the direction you kicked it. The second you touch the doors burst open outward, and they burst open with such force that it knocks you to the ground, Gladiator. You will actually be prone currently. And as you are knocked prone and take a whopping 5 points of bludgeoning damage from the doors bursting open, within this room, the lot of you, even the knocked prone Gladiator, you guys see quite the scene. You look in, and across the room, a large stone wall. It would appear that another spiral stone staircase seems to twist upward somewhere on the other side of the room. But sitting kind of near this stairwell is a throne of bone. And it is extravagantly made, held together by some dark fabric that looks almost as if it's like a pulsing black liquid. Bones of many humanoids, skulls, femurs, rib cages, and more, all kind of come together to make this massive throne. And on this throne sits a very pale man. He looks very vampirish, but also very foreign, not of this realm. I found this picture in another book, and that is what I wanted Amorphous to look like. So he's got this like long, messy kind of gray hair. He's got this almost like a tattered cape that somehow resembles feathered wings, and very, very claw-like hands. He seems to have a straight line tattoo down his face, starting at his chin and going down his throat and down his chest. His eyes just a pure, vacant white. And he sits upon this throne of bone as he stares out, kind of blankly, and he kind of half smirks. He nods and calls out, "Ah, a ward of Shadowfell. Another. Great. You all are quite tasty. A ward from the abyss. Hello, little halfling. A paladin of multiple gods. Interesting. An elf from the Nightwood, and what would appear to be a quite famous bard. Why, hello, Sands of Justice. I knew you would find me. It saved me the trouble of hunting you down. Well, you might as well come in. I suppose we've got to tangle. Introduce you to a few of my friends." As you guys kind of watch him smirk, he seems to have a small table next to this throne, and upon it is a bottle of wine and a glass. He sips from it. Marching loudly, armor clanging, as someone marches down this spiral staircase, kind of near to where the throne is. And as this being emerges through the archway, you see someone you recognize immediately. The Hammer, a silver prince, spawn of the Silver Queen. This massive silver dragonborn has red pinpoints for eyes, clearly turned into some sort of undead servant or monstrosity. He is just a full plate, shining silver armor and a massive glowing blue warhammer. His eyes focus on the prone gladier, and with a snort, he calls out, "Ah, you killed my mum. I'll be taking your head back to the Silver Keep, and probably your heart, and maybe your spine, and much more." He cracks his neck as he approaches the throne, looking to be the right-hand man of Amorphous. As you guys kind of gaze on, you realize that the wall across the room, while made of stone, and the wall just on the on the either side of the door you guys have just opened, also looks to be made of stone. But the walls to the left and right, as you peer into the top floor of this tower, or one of the top floors of this tower, the walls to the left and right, though roughly 30 feet in height, they appear to be translucent. They appear to be glass. And as you kind of look about and see the utter darkness of Shadowfell kind of on the other side, another familiar face, beating wings from outside this large window. It looks to be a half-dragon of sorts, pale white scales. This person is bisected down the center, almost like you would imagine Two-Face from Batman. Half of the face is very draconic, with white scales and piercing blue eyes. You see this person wrapped in a purple cloak, and one hand and foot appearing very elvish and elegant. The other is a gnarled claw, fist, and foot covered in white scales, and wings project from her back as she hovers outside the tower, looking in, and it is none other than Myrnareth, gazing at the party hungrily. And I think we're probably going to have to call it there. That's where we're going to leave our bookmark for the day, fellas.
Yeah, right before the 2-hour battle.
I was kind of hoping you'd say that, so it'd give us a chance to prepare. But at the same time, I didn't want you to say it because I wanted to see what happened.
Oh god, yeah, I was in the same boat. I was like, oh fuck, I hope he calls it here because we need time to understand what the fuck just happened because this is gonna get brutal. And then the other part of me was like, but I want to fight this so bad.
Same.
Why didn't I think that fucking Miraneth would be here? It never crossed my mind. It makes all the damn sense in the world.
It really does. We've been waiting on this fucking battle. Like it's like these like generals that are out there in the world we never really dealt with. And like of fucking course it happens now, and nobody saw it coming. Damn it.
Well, I still have his wine. Maybe he'll just let us have a drink and discuss terms.
Yeah, just hand over Gladier, say we're sorry, and we'll just go our separate ways.
I mean, these are Gladier's villains, not ours. So
Only
to be
two
fair, you did kill their mother. I mean, you did give the killing blow.
Yeah, the mother and the lover.
Yeah, we had no beef with them. That was your deal.
I thought they were nice, actually.
Amorphous is your villain. Well, it's all of our villain. But yeah, Myrneth and the Hammer are definitely my villain.
So I'm seeing that pretty much half the party has no stake in this battle. So
So I dropped a little pic in the feed just so you guys have kind of a reference of what we'll be dealing with next time. Spiral staircase behind you. The doors are open. Gladier is actually prone while the rest of the party is there. There is a throne where in the room where Amorphous sits. There is it's kind of a bad shot of the mini to the south, but there is like a all gray mini on this other near this other kind of spiral staircase, and the blue dotted lines on either side of the room are kind of representing this like these windows. Essentially, you can see outward into the Shadowfell, so you're 1,000 feet up with some of these kind of windows on either side. And, yeah, just to kind of give a perspective. This is what I'll be saving this map so that I can use it next time. So you guys a little bit better prepared, I guess. I don't know.
I'm more concerned. Why are there playing cards?
I was just gonna ask, like, is there a fucking playing card mechanic to this? What sort of hell are you about to put us through next week?
Those are actually the arcane spell slot cards or whatever. The other side of those cards has a multitude of Mirnareth spells that I could choose from.
Oh, so a low 6th level spell. I mean,
Yeah, those are the just a low 6th level spell. You know, there's definitely not
Like,
any more powerful
spells.
ones than 6th in there.
Cool. So everybody stay as far apart as we can, and no straight lines.
I'm gonna be on the other side of the room from you also. Do we now that we're looking at Amorphous, before we go, can I like maybe do an insight or something just to see what he is? Does he have a sword? Is he a spellcaster? Like, I don't know if that's possible.
Ooh,
Maybe give us an idea.
I'll let you roll for it, but you got to roll epically. I'm gonna set the DC for that at like 25, and I'll tell you what class he is if you can give me an insight check over 25.
Let me double check what my insight is. Yeah, it is a +8. Come on. A natural one. Fitting.
He's definitely a low-level barbarian for sure.
He's a villain.
Fucking Ted Lasso. Oh man.
Well, as always, good session, fellas. You know, that was a fun time. I would have, there was potentially just crack off a fight, so I didn't know which way it was going to go, but I didn't want to start a hefty combat this late into the session because it's probably going to take the entire session to run this combat proper. So.
Oh no!
so who is sick next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, call in sick if you need more time to prepare. So.
I may come up with a baby emergency. Just let me know, guys, if y'all need more time.
Anthony makes a 6th kid to buy more time. That's crazy.
I guess I'll break out the notes I had for my death scene, and I'll polish that up just in case.
You know, I'm all in for this. This is like peak D&D for me. Just that like all out fucking battle.
It should be fun. Though there will be fuckery afoot. It's gonna be a good time. I like this thing that I've been doing lately where I put you guys in situations where you're like, if the CR is like way higher than it should be, but you guys keep living through shit like that. So we'll see. We'll see about this one.
I don't know, man.
Looks like a different one.
This does seem like if one of us doesn't die, then it was a fucking miracle.
We'll see. You know, last time I busted out my metal dice. I didn't really get to use them a whole lot this go around. But last time I used those gold and green metal dice, I killed Gladier 2 times.
Yeah, you might get it again. I mean,
Right,
Mirneth and the Hammer are both pretty fucking pissed at me.
I just thought it was fitting that not only did you lose your shit, but this guy's generals happened to come from your arc, so it just kind of works. Yeah, Shadowfell has pretty much been like, fuck Gladier, literally since you got here.
All right.
I think you were
trash talk him, insult his mom, tell him how easily she died, how she cried like a little bitch, and maybe he'll focus so much on you, the rest of us can escape.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I have, like I said before, I have 2 backup characters ready. So,
Yeah, and Gladiator doesn't really have much to live for, too, so.
No,
Thanks, bud.
seriously.
Family reunion.
Jesus.
Say hi to your sister for me.
Jesus.
Family reunion in the underworld.
Bring your family in the underworld. Good lord.
I don't know. They're
He doesn't
dead.
even think he's going to heaven and he's a
I
paladin. What
know.
does that say?
Well, I mean, he didn't like blackface.
He is kind of racist. I forget.
How is it against
He definitely has been profiling undead.
Okay.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna get out of here for the evening. Keep in touch. Let's do this crazy thing again soon. Next session is likely the last session of this arc. So, moving on down to Logos's arc next.
Oh boy.
That makes me even more nervous.
Oh, you
shit.
should.
At least I got plot armor for sure. So good luck, everyone else.
That's fine. If I go out like this, it'll be a good way to die, and the character that I bring in to replace Renwick will be so much worse.
All right, fellas. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I will talk to you again soon. See you guys later.
Not you.
Sounds good, guys.
Later.
We'll see y'all.